Hello, welcome to the AllMarkOne live stream of Head of the River 2025. I am Wilfred Brock. I'm joined by a couple of very special guests. So we've got Jack Gosling-Kay and Sholto Carnegie here from Crew Connection. So Jack, I'll tell you a little about him. So he began rowing at Hinckley Sculling School and then went on to do a bit at Leander and to study and row at the University of California. Lovely and sunny over there. And then Jack won a gold medal at the World University Championships, I think, in 2018. In fact, briefly rowed with me at Leander for a year as well, so I know him quite well. And then Sholto, I hope, needs no introduction. Began rowing at Marlow Rowing Club, I believe.
City of Oxford.
City of Oxford,
yeah,
and then Marlow. Spent time at Leander as well. Rowed over at Yale in the States, and then in the GB team. I think had a tough time in Tokyo, but turned that around last summer and won a gold medal in the 8 at the Olympic Games. So knows his stuff, certainly. First of all, tell me a little bit about the work you guys are doing now at Crew Connection.
Yeah, so at the moment we help people who want to go and study in the US. So we help particularly junior athletes want to improve their rowing and then help them through navigate the recruiting process and sort of get them to where they need to go. So we've helped people go to all the Ivy Leagues this year and make sure that they're in the right footing and make sure that they're able to sort of get to the place they want to go through sort of coaching, but then also helping them with speaking to coaches, navigating the whole recruiting process and making sure that they're in good hands so that they can get to where they want to go to in life.
Yeah, it's really exciting. I think the best part of it is when you get someone you've been working with for a number of months, number of years, and then they get that sort of likely letter or they get accepted, and it's really special to see that impact. So we want to give people as much opportunities as we had. We had such a great time studying in America, so definitely recommend it.
Yeah, so we might see a few people out racing today who are maybe taking gap years with a view to going over and rowing the US. And then on Tuesday we'll also be streaming the School's Head, which will have lots of people who we may well see rowing some of these top US crews in the next few years. So very exciting for those guys.
Yeah, lots of sort of people in clubs like Thames, London. They've got a big cohort this year of gap year students. So it'll be really interesting to see how they do today. And I was speaking to the Cal coach, and he was sort of, his eyes are always on the clubs in England because they've rowed for so long compared to in the US, and they really sort of have a leg up in terms of recruiting. And if they do a gap year as well, then they have an extra time there to sort of develop and then move on. And it really sort of benefits everyone if people have a really great year sort of developing at a great gap year program. So yeah, be really exciting to see how they do, and all eyes on them.
Yeah, I think my teammate from Paris, James Rudkin's rowing with a few gap year people in the Thames boat, so we'll see how he's going, see how big his puddles are towards the end of the race, and fingers crossed he goes all right.
And today's racing now, that's cuts to chase. Who do you say is going to win?
It's a really good question. I think there's sort of like three schools of thought. So there's Leander, Brooks, and then Thames, and then potentially the Goldie Cambridge boat as well. I think it'll be really interesting to see how the sort of Leander boat is, considering that they've had a lot of people leave that have gone to either Oxford or Cambridge, but then also how many sort of Caversham athletes are on the scene in that top boat. And then with Brooks, it'll be really interesting to see how their developments with the head coaching role at Brooks will affect things, and if there's sort of any fallout in terms of performances. So yeah, very sort of interesting. And then Thames are always there looking to sort of push on. They've obviously got an Olympic champion in the middle of their top 8, so really sort of top quality crew, and really sort of interesting to see the battle of these three, and then that Goldie boat as well.
Yeah, my hot take is I think that Goldie boat, I don't think they'll win, but I think they'll be pushing on. They look pretty sharp out there. They're tuned up for the boat race. I think I was speaking to Bill Lucas down the riverbank, and he was saying they've got a really good squad, so I'm excited to see that.
I think that Goldie boat, haven't they got some returners from last year's blue boat in that crew today?
I think Matt Edge of last year, the stroke of last year's blue boat, is in the boat. So yeah, no, it's a very stacked crew, very sort of high quality, and they'll definitely be looking to put down a marker here, get used to that water before the boat race starts in a couple of weeks.
So Leander, I suppose, I think no returning Olympians in that crew, but 8 guys who I think are now training at Caversham have moved up into the GB team and who won this race last year. Do you think we can look past them, or?
No, I think Leander are looking strong. You got big Matt Rowe. Shout out to Matt Rowe in the stroke seat there. I think they'll be good. I mean, it's always a challenge, isn't it? You come back. You've been training at Caversham. You've been in several training camps. You're pushing it pretty hard, and then you've got this week to try and get this 8 together. And it's balancing trying to pull the boat together, but also recover and get ready for a race. So it's not an easy week. And then you've got the factions. You've got the Caversham Leander lot, the Caversham Brooks lot. They split, and there's sort of a bit of a Chinese wall. And you're trying to get information out of the other camps. So it was always quite an exciting year whenever I did it. We'll be excited to watch them sort of come down. I mean, it's looking like quite good conditions. Not too windy on the course, and we're really excited.
Yeah, it's sort of interesting as well because a lot of the typical Leander Brooks athletes that would then go back to their clubs have sort of gone off to Oxford and Cambridge. So there's Matt Hayward, Dower is off at Cambridge as well, and not at Oxford, not at Leander. So it's sort of interesting to see how that sort of even that depth of that sort of boat last year would sort of be diminished this year. So yeah, it'll be really interesting to see how it plays out and who sort of can push that sort of top boat to the extremes at the end.
I think Brooks, we've not really heard much from them. There have obviously been some things going on at the club in recent months, but if you were one of the Caversham athletes coming back for the week, you've got to put a boat together for the head of the river to try and beat Leander. What would you be thinking? How would you be going through that week?
Yeah, I think you'd be sort of trying to unite everyone around that common goal. And you know who the enemy is for that week if you're at Brooks, and if you're at Leander, you know who the enemy is, and you've got to sort of draw on those club ties. And we would always say, go Hippos when I was at Leander, sort of bleed pink. But it's a fun week, and you've got to like thrive in it, because when you're on the national team, you don't actually get that much racing. You've got the trials. I mean, you've got 5 international races each year, so it's not really enough. So you need to sort of have these opportunities when you can race for your club, see everyone else in the rowing sort of world. You're not just stuck at Caversham. You see how amazing it is to race in these with like hundreds of crews. And I think that's a pretty special opportunity to be part of the rowing community and actually be like right in the middle of the British rowing community. So I always loved this event. It was thrived in it.
And again on Brooks, we've obviously seen them win the university pennant, generally with some of their lower crews on the top ones, with the guys who were all academic eligible for as many years as I can remember. Do you think we'll see that change today? Obviously, Brooks see the first eligible crew from Brooks. We've got that Goldie crew in the race. Do you think we might see a turnaround in the academic pennant this year?
Yeah, it's really interesting because we've also got Durham, who coached by Will Fletcher, already coming on, and they're sort of pushing on. They've had some really good results at Henley over the last few years, and they're really stepping on each year. So it'll be interesting to see how that sort of diminished Brooks crew or potentially diminished Brooks crew can rival that sort of Durham crew. Then we've also got Newcastle, who are obviously trying to replicate their success of their Newcastle football team winning the Carabao Cup this weekend, and trying to sort of bring home gold in that sort of regard. So it'll be really interesting to see how that plays out. I think Durham could produce a really good row, and hopefully they're sort of up and ready for this, because this could really be a kickstart for their season, and hopefully then push on for sort of success at Henley and success at Bucks later in the year.
Yeah, I think it's also slightly the playing field of British University crews is slightly levelling, so you're getting the likes of Bristol looking stronger as well. So I'm excited, but my bet is on Cambridge. Actually, I think you're tuned up if you're doing the boat race. This is the distance you've been working on. This is like the peak of the season coming up in a couple of weeks' time. So I think I'd be pretty confident to sort of be on peak form if I was in that crew.
Hot take. I think it's also interesting to note that a lot of the best sort of student athletes are in the US. So a lot of the top athletes have been recruited and gone over. So it is a sort of hamper on the UK university cruising, and it can sort of diminish the standard that sort of is on the sort of domestic scene. But I think everyone's trying to push on and really sort of, make their sort of mark throughout the year. So
when are we going to get Yale and Harvard to come over and do the head of the river? because I think that would be good, because they have a 4-miler, which is their last race of the season, which is after the IRA. A week after the IRA, they have the Yale Harbour boat race, and from my experience, you're never really that prepared for it. You've done 2K racing, and you have to jump into a 4-mile where you haven't really that tuned up. So I know I'd love it if I was still at Yale, coming down, getting the opportunity to race in this environment. It's a pretty spectacular race to do.
Yeah, that is a great point. But I think it's important to note that the US 2K racing season starts in a week or 2 weeks for a lot of crews. So flying over, it might be difficult for people to sort of manage that jet lag and then come back. But I'd love to see some more Dutch crews, near us. It would be great if you came over. I know you had the Heineken last weekend, and a lot of these crews out here raced that weekend as well. But it's always great to see international crews come over.
Yeah, I suppose sort of what do you think maybe UK races can do to kind of attract US crews to come over here?
That's a good question. I think it's pretty tough just in terms of timings with their schedule. I think, really pitching this as sort of a test for all the sort of best crews in the US to compete against the national teams and compete against the Caversham Olympians, who have obviously done really well in the summer, and pitching it that way. I think, they would love to do it if it was feasible. I think a lot of the time it's just sort of not logistically possible, but I think a lot of those East Coast crews would sort of want to come over if they could.
I think also there can be some sort of donors or funding when people want to sort of fund some US crews, Australian crews, and make it more like Head of the Childs. I think that could be a really good opportunity. I mean, it's the last head race of the season for the senior teams. So yeah, I mean, I'd love to see that. So if anyone wants to fund some international crews, I'm sure let everyone know. We'd love to see that.
So I suppose you've both, mentioning Head of the Charles there, you've both raced at Head of the Charles and at Head of the River a good number of times. I mean, as probably the two sort of most famous head races in the world, how do you think those two compare from the experience of rowing down the course?
I think there's a similar buzz around, but I guess the Charles is a little bit more intimate, so you have more people lined up at various points. So maybe I guess you could do like a fan zone watching area from somewhere at a few other points across the sort of the championship course. But I think just trying to spread the word more. I think the more you can market a race, I think that's what the Head of the Charles does very well in the weeks, the months building up. Let people know. So try and get sort of even more people outside the rowing community coming to watch it was probably a good move.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think the Thames is just a bit wider than the Charles, so it always feels like there's a roaring crowd on top of you at the Charles, whereas here you sort of can go around a few bends and you feel a bit isolated. It's a bit sort of like Henley when you get into the Badlands in the middle of the race, and you're sort of in this quiet zone where you're just trying to push on and get into your groove. So they are very different races, and I think the fact that the Charles has things like the Great Eight that bring sort of the top athletes from around the world and sort of push on and trying to sort of incorporate those athletes into the race really makes a big difference.
They used to do that here. Alan Campbell used to put together a Great Eight out of Tideway to try and compete against them. So maybe that needs to happen again.
Maybe you could be part of it, Schulte.
I think I'm a bit unfit for that, to be honest. Maybe I need to get back into training and try and get a bit of that greatness back in the Great Eight. We'll see.
Well, as they say, form may be temporary, but class is forever.
Yeah, the
so
class 8. We'll call it the class 8. And, row really nicely all the way down the track and try that.
So, Wilf, what's it like coxing these kind of races? I know it's slightly sort of a challenging race in terms of picking your lines and swirling waters. I know you've raced it a lot of times as a cox. Would you have any sort of pointers or tips in terms of how to navigate the water best?
Yeah, I mean, it's always a good day, to show your skills as a cox and sort of, potentially earn some more trust from a crew for later in the season. I think the day starts, it starts with the planning beforehand, but, as soon as you get on the water, obviously rowing up against the tide generally, a lot of crews around. My aim was always to kind of tuck myself into the inside. A lot of crews, you're going along a bank that's sort of on a slope, so especially if you're a home crew here, you kind of know how close you can get, and then if you tuck yourself on the inside, you're out of the stream on the way up, you can just kind of keep shooting past all the other crews. I think it's just keeping a very good lookout on the way up to the start, making sure that your crew knows they're safe, you're calm, you're authoritative, you stop if you need to or do pauses if you need to. When you actually get into the race, I always aim to kind of leave a good gap. It's obviously fun, especially if you're sort of a bit lower down the order to do some overtakes, but ultimately the further up the order you go, having to move around other crews and row through their watches is only really going to slow you down. So it's sort of getting yourself a good space and then just steering the bends really smoothly. They're really long, sweeping corners, so you've got to make sure you're not sort of putting too much rudder on and going too tight, or sort of losing where you are and going too wide. It's been quite interesting in recent years. I think since the race came back after it missed a couple of editions in COVID, a lot of clubs seem to be sort of taking tighter lines than what was traditional. I think part of that is the football stadium, which we can see at about a kilometre to go in the race, has been redeveloped, and that involved dredging the river. So traditionally, you'd go very wide and stay well to the outside of the bend on that last corner. And now some people are starting to, cut that corner a little bit tighter and cut across the Fulham Flats, which you traditionally wouldn't have done. So there's actually, I'm not sure anyone knows the exact perfect line down the course, but I suppose you can think of it.
Wilf,
Well,
yeah.
hopefully, but that's a trade secret. Yeah. Trade secret. But I think if you take it slightly shorter and cut a bit of a distance off, even if you're in slightly slower water, actually, I think some of that effect balances out. But it's just keeping that smooth, not ending up too wide or too tight. It can be quite confusing both for a row and a cox, I think, because the bends are so long and sweeping, and you're going to be, a few hundred metres between the crews. If you're looking straight at the crew and you're a cox and you point your boat straight towards them, you're actually going to cut a bit off the corner. And again, from a rower's perspective, it always looks like the crew's behind you in a different place. So you have to sort of have a bit of confidence just to sort of know your distance off the banks and take the bend sweeping. Or if you aim for a crew that's 100 metres ahead of you, you're just going to cut a bit off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I actually, the first time I ever raced a tideway, I was looking at the map and it bends here, and I was constantly rowing along trying to figure out which way it was going to bend next. And actually someone gave me a great piece of advice the second time I was racing. Just think of it as a straight line. Let whoever's steering or the cox to do that, and then just row and go off the markers and don't think about which bend's happening. So I think the crews have started. So the first crews will be, where will they be coming? They started about 5 minutes ago. So they'll be sort of coming, just gone through Barnes Bridge, coming...
so past the bandstand. I mean,
past the bandstand.
What would be going through your head at that point in the race? You've obviously done sort of 3-4 minutes. How are you feeling? What's going through your head at that point in the race as a rower?
Yeah. I think that's it. And I think, they're going off in 10 minutes, I think. So.
No, but they've gone off.
They'll be with us in 10 minutes.
Oh, they'll be with us in 10 minutes.
On their way.
There we go.
They're on their way down, so they'll be puffing. They'll be trying to get in that good rhythm. I think like the first 2K is good. Like it's easy, but then it's when you're coming into that middle part of the race, you've got to keep the chat up. So the cox has to keep the chat up. If you sit in the bows, you've got to be like a bit vocal, not let it go silent, because in these long races, it's about being consistent with it, but also keeping that hype up and like almost like having that gauge of where you are relative to other crews. And even if you don't really know as a cox, still feeding them information just to motivate the crew, I think is really important.
Yeah, and I think, especially at the start of the race, it's really important to go off with a lot of, impetus and really sort of go for it hard at the beginning. I think a lot of crews can tend to sort of, go off a bit too soft and know that the sort of race is quite long and hold themselves back. You really want to set that intention early and really sort of go off and then get that 8 up to speed and then try and keep it there for as long as possible. It can be a sort of long race to do it, but that's tends to be who does best is the people that can really sort of take that race by the scruff of the neck and charge at the beginning.
Find that red line,
Find that red line.
So they'll be coming through Chiswick 8 right now, probably around then. And what would you be telling the crew if you were coxing?
Yeah, I suppose you start to get some sort of measure on whether you're closing or not on the crew in front, and if you are, it's really good to give them that bit of information. I suppose the bit down Chiswick 8, it's a sort of rare bit where you can have the rudder off for a few hundred metres, so it gives the crew a chance to really feel the rhythm down that straight. I think, obviously, you mentioned sort of treating it as a straight. As you do go around the bends, I mean, it's a pretty flat day out there today, but you can get the changes in wind, so it's just making sure the crew is so technically on it and adjusting to the conditions they might come around into. If it's a headwind, making sure the blades are still coming down to the water and going in. If it's a tailwind, picking it up, tapping it along. But it's just making sure they always know where they are, and you're just keeping them. I always think as a cox, if you've got guys there that want to be there, they're going to get as much out themselves as they can. Pretty much, it's mainly sort of getting them doing the same thing and getting an extra sort of few percent out of the way they're rowing, being that kind of voice in the ear saying sit up and stay sharp.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting. Some of these crews will be having their screens on for the telemetry. So well, I'm sure there'll be a number out there, so they'll be sort of trying to hit those wattage and basically just keep it very, very consistent on that wattage all the way through. So in those middle bits where you're starting to feel that pain, feel that sort of energy slip, keeping that mental focus and keeping on your splits. But I mean, I always like to I didn't love the screens, but I mean, they do have a lot of purpose, and you've got to find what works best for your crew. But I think in a long race like this, there is value in using them as well.
Yeah, I agree. It can be quite a challenge, I think, for people seeing them sometimes, because your most pieces you'll do in training won't be anywhere near as long as the race, and you'll see some good numbers there, and then you get to the race, you get a bit excited, you sort of go off, and then it's a long old way. I think there's a lot of people who find sort of maybe after Hammersmith they're not quite seeing the numbers they were in training, but you've just got to hang on there and sort of blow the least almost.
I remember coming through Hammersmith Bridge, you always get that buzz. I think that's probably the part of the race where you do actually have that people lined up on the bridge or around it, and you feel that buzz from the crowd, and you don't look out, but you can hear the people shouting. You know, in 20 years' time, if we can get the whole riverbank like that bridge, we'll be in a good spot. So fingers crossed.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, when you come through Hammersmith Bridge and it's really getting difficult, that's when you really need to trust that rhythm that you set early on. And I think that's why you've got to go off with a real good sort of drive and make sure that you set that rhythm up so you can continue that through the rest of the race, so that, you know, if it does get tough, and which it will, you can really sort of hold on and stick together, and you're not sort of it's not sort of falling apart completely. But no, it'll be really interesting to see the first crews coming down now. I think we've probably got about 5 minutes before they'll reach us. Sort of coming around.
So we're standing here on the top of London Rowing Club. There's a few of the AllMarkOne team with some binoculars out, and it'll be all starting to happen pretty soon.
Just before we do see the crews come into sight, just thinking a few weeks ahead now to the boat race. There's obviously been some controversy there over the eligibility of PGCE students, but what are your thoughts on sort of who's in the crews and how are things looking for the race, and also what would you be thinking in either camp with obviously these controversies going on?
Yeah, I mean, you ultimately, like, these controversies have happened, but as a crew you've got to focus on, like, okay, we've set our crews, the rules may, whatever your opinion, they're fair, they're unfair, but you've just got to focus on what you can do and avoid the sort of the media distracting you. I think that's the number one aim. But I think it's going to be a great boat race. I mean, like, whichever way you look at it, you've got like Olympians on both sides, and it's going to be good. There's going to be some tight racing. I mean, the odds will start coming out, and everyone gets a bit excited about that. And you can sort of start to compare a little bit more, and which camp is feeling more confident. But a marker I always like to look at is, I always like to see them arrive on the day, and I can usually tell by which team's more confident, which team's more happy, which team's more cohesive. Is usually a good indicator of who's going to win. And I was speaking to some people who've done the boat race from both sides, and they said that often it's the people who have the most fun, often are more successful. Not always, but you can have too much fun, but I think it's often a good sign.
Yeah, and I think, you know, at the end of the day, we want to see the two best crews rowing, and, you know, if that means enabling sort of all the students to row, I think that would be a good thing. I think there's also a lot of controversy around the sort of age limit that people can row the boat race for. So obviously sort of Tom Ford is unable to row the boat race because he's too old. And I think, you know, we don't want to sort of diminish we don't want to diminish the boat race first of all, and we don't want to sort of limit who can row the race. So obviously sort of Cambridge at the head of the trials had the first scalp against Oxford, beating them by sort of 15 seconds or so. So it'll be interesting to see if Oxford can claw that back, and if the sort of if the controversy around everything has really affected Cambridge. I think it will be a big test for them, and a big test for our athletes who aren't sort of used to all the media hype, and a lot of the sort of people that are racing it for the first time will be really tested by this, and it'll be interesting to see how they respond.
So, cheeky question, but obviously your crewmate from Paris, Tom Ford, studying at Cambridge, doing a bit more studying, unfortunately unable to race in the boat race because of one of the rules. But would you fancy doing a bit more studying and see if you could row in a boat race, or?
I mean, never say never, but I think I'm quite studied and rowed out, to be honest.
Fair enough.
I think for now I'm just going to enjoy my work at Crew Connection and helping the next batch of athletes go to the States and thrive in the sport. I think that's where I'm sort of enjoying it at the moment. But getting back into a bit of training and seeing how things go.
You'd also be too old as well, wouldn't you?
I think so. It's 12 years after you started your undergraduate. So I think I've got 2 years I could do it.
Okay, well, never say never.
Never say never, yeah.
Obviously, we both grew up in Oxford, so who would you row for, Oxford or Cambridge?
I don't know, we'd have to look. I mean, I think it's with everything, but we advise at Crew Connections about speaking to the coaches and understanding which coach you vibe the best with and going to have that best relationship with, but also the school, which school has the best sort of academic and which courses fit with you. So I think it's, I'd probably try and put my analysing hat, what I do when I help athletes decide which university to go to and apply that to myself.
I thought you'd say a hard Oxford there, so a bit disappointed.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. It's keeping options open.
Very good, very good. Still waiting for the crews to come into sight here. But I suppose we can start to think about who's in those crews again and where they'll be in the race, how they'll be feeling again. I mean, let's say a few words about setup at Leander. We've obviously all rode in it, hopefully not biased, but maybe a few words about the setup there and the coaching there.
Yeah. So you've got Matt Beachy leading the charge, and Ali Brown was mainly doing the sculling, but whenever he was around this week, you'd always get a lot of fist bumps from Ali, calling everyone a legend. He's the beating heart of the club, so I'd always enjoy coming back to Leander and seeing him. But yeah, I think they've got a good setup. They'll be moulding the boat over this week. Still trying to put in the miles because this week isn't an off week, as our coaches would always say. You're still training hard. We'd often probably have a half hour on Wednesday, half hour rate 20. So it's not off. They'll be putting in the work. So they'll still have a bit of fatigue in their legs, I think, the national team guys. So we'll see. They should be coming down relatively soon. We can just about make out Harrods over there, so they should be flying around the corner relatively soon, and we'll be getting a good idea based off sort of split gaps who's in a good position.
Yeah, and I think Leander are going off first, so I think from when we were there it's changed slightly. They've tried to bring in a few more athletes, have bigger squads, trying to replicate that sort of Brooks really big squad so they can have a lot of competition and push people on, and everyone's sort of fighting for their seats. So it'll be interesting to see how that sort of manifests in the different boats and how much depth they've got to compete with all those Brooks and Thames boats that are really sort of leading the charge in terms of the big squad mentality. So it'll be really good to see them come down.
And speaking of Brooks, I've just seen Henry Swarbrick, Brooks legend, walking his dog down there. So we'll see. He's obviously done some pretty good stuff at the Eights Head recently.
I'm sure we'll hear him giving them a few cheers as they come by.
That's right. I think he's won it 3 times, has he?
Yeah. Too many.
Too many.
Too many for a Leander folk to like. And here we go. I think we can see some of the crews just coming around the bend now.
I can see pink blades. So I think Leander A coming around, probably heading towards the milepost here. So still nearly 2 kilometres away from us, but with that tide and the guys they've got on that boat, I'm sure they'll be on top of us very soon. One more thing, so obviously Caversham Leander training programme is very much sort of 2K orientated. How is it sort of going from that programme and jumping in for a week for a race that's 3 times as long?
Yeah, I mean it's a challenge, but actually I'd say Caversham, actually you do so many long miles that actually you do have that fitness base built up, so you're maybe not primed up, and the whole week is like finding that race pace top end for a 5k again, or for more than a 5k for the head race. But I would say they have the fitness there, but it's just how they can put all the pieces of the jigsaw puzzle together. And sometimes you see these crews from Brooks and Caversham and Leander mould really well, and sometimes it's more of a challenge. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, from looking, it seems like there's what we can see already. There seems like quite a big gap is open from Brooks and the crew behind them. But Brooks and Leander, I don't know how much I could call what the gap is there. I mean, they're both looking sharp, and hopefully we'll see get a clearer idea as crews are coming.
Yeah. So that's Brooks A have looked like they've moved on that Brooks B crew, and maybe Thames have also caught up to that Brooks B crew. Okay. So James Rudkin is doing a really good job in that Thames boat and pulling them along.
He'll be getting excited. He'll be laying down those big watch in the 5 seat, and then.
But Leander are looking really slick here. Very sort of nice rhythm, very sort of clean catches, and really sort of pushing on together. They'll be sort of winding it up now as they come through to the finish line and really sort of pushing on. That Brooks crew is looking really strong as well. They're sort of catching up and pushing on, really pushing out those finishes,
Yeah, and
taking a wide line through that sort of last final bend.
And this phase of the race, I think you feel like the finish line is going to come sooner than it is. So you're slightly holding on because you get that bit of excitement as you come past St Paul's as well, but it's actually a lot longer than you think. But they're almost approaching the Black Boy now. So yeah, we'll see. What is everyone's opinions with the split gap there?
Yeah, I agree with you, Sholto. I think it's very hard to call between those Brooks A and Leander A boats. It does look like Thames have certainly closed up on Brooks B there. I mean, we saw the Thames women nearly come past the top Brooks boat at Women's Head. So obviously Thames doing very, very well with that programme, getting some very strong crews out. Brooks maybe struggling with some of the disruption that they've had. That Leander 8's now past the Black Boy into the final sort of 500 metres of the race. I mean, what are we seeing there? It looks like they've certainly gone pretty hard and just bring it into the line, getting as much as they can out themselves. What can you guys see?
Really long, really sort of nice, clean finishes. I think they've got a great rhythm. It looks like Brooks maybe have slightly caught them up slightly, but we don't know how that gap was at the beginning.
I don't know what it is. I think I'd bet on Leander, but I'm not entirely sure. We'll have to see. They're looking strong. You know, what we always look for is shins to vertical. Are they keeping that length? And then coming into the finish line, you can see in the stroke seats, Matt Rhodes definitely keeping that length. So exciting.
I think what's really, really good as well, they're sort of really nice, clean finishes, getting the blades off the water on the recovery, letting the boat run, and really sort of pushing on. There's that very sort of typical Brooks style of rowing, very sort of punchy, very sort of long, very clean rowing.
You got David Buick-Copley in that 5 seat. Laying down those big watts. He was part of my 2022 World Championship crew. He's a great athlete. I really enjoyed rowing with him, and he definitely loves rowing at Brooks. Did his undergraduate degree at Princeton, but then came on to Brooks to row for them post university. So yeah, looking good. Wearing the iconic neon colours that they love to wear in this head race. I think they've definitely put some distance into their second boat. But yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, here's Thames Rowing Club pushing on that Brooks crew as well. Got a good mix of athletes there. Some gap year athletes, some older athletes. Yeah, so they're really pushing on. They've got their home stretch. So they're incredibly excited.
And you can really hear the roar of the Thames Rowing Club boathouse as they came past there. They can sort of really use that to push on and push into that last 500 metres.
Yeah, here we go. It's all starting to happen. Crews are bunching up. I mean, looking down the river, there's a few gaps opening up, a few crews together, close. So, yeah, when you can feel another crew's puddle, you can really see that you can sort of make that impact. It gives you a little boost as long as they're staying out of your line, but you can just feel the atmosphere around you.
And that Leander second boat looks really strong. They're sort of pushing away. It looks like they've moved on that Thames and Brooks boat, so they'll be hoping to put down a really good time there. And then they're sort of really nice and long. They've got quite a distinctive style, that Leander team now. Very sort of like long, loose stroke, really pushing on.
I think we've got a bit of a humdinger now. So we've got the Brooks C boat, the student boat, being overtaken by the London Rowing Club A crew here. So really strong club crew from London. We saw from them last year, fantastically fast Club 8 that it didn't quite manage to do the business in the Thames Cup, but was setting some really quick times all season. So I think their coach Stuart Heap's done a really good job with that club. They look very sharp, very nice blade work around the front, and it must be so motivating to be coming alongside that Brooks crew in the final stages.
Yeah, Sam Mayer will really be pushing on there in the 2 seat. He's really sort of driving it home. Yeah,
I can see him pushing on, head down, rowing hard. That crew's looking really nice backsplash as the blades enter the water. Another crew coming here, Leander third boat pushing on as well.
On that Brooks boat, looks like they're catching that Brooks boat and really trying to push on.
Brooks D there, I think. Brooks D being caught by Leander C.
That's a great showing from Leander. A lot of bunching up already quite early on in the race. It's really exciting. They're sort of pushing on now, coming into that finish line, trying to wind up that rate, give everything they got, squeeze out those last strokes and really trying to push it into the finish.
Yeah, and here you've got London Rowing Club B boat coming through as well. They're looking sharp. It looks like quite a deep squad this year. So we're standing on the top of London Rowing Club, so we've got to give them a good shout. But no, impressive stuff. And coming into the picture now is UL, which is local club, local university as well. They're pushing on. Interesting to see they've got a bit of a bucket in that crew from 7 and 6, which is a bit of an unconventional rig, but we love to see that.
And they're being chased by, it looks like, the Thames B crew. I think that's a gap that's closed up there. So we've seen with Thames and London just now kind of the strength of club rowing, both boats having A and B crews right up here in the top 12 crews. Now University of Edinburgh looking pretty sharp, or had a bit of a crab there.
Yeah, looking good. I mean, commercial's chasing them down as well.
First international crew coming down from commercial, the Irish.
Yeah, really
Irish
like
boat
that.
crews.
It's what we want more of. More international crews coming to race.
Some more side-by-side action now with Thames and Molesey. Looks to me like the Thames crew has possibly come through Molesey there. What can you guys see?
Yeah.
Molesey trying to replicate the success of their women's squad that they had at the Women's Head of the River, coming fourth and winning the club event. So they'll be trying to push on and replicate that. It looks like Thames maybe have got the better of them there, though.
And yeah, coming into the closing stage here, we've got Marlow Rowing Club. Shout out to my old club. We've got Jamie Axon, head coach of the men's squad there. Really exciting programme. I think it's just testament to sort of the standard of club rowing around the country is really stepping on, which is exciting.
Yeah, I mean, they had their, I think, probably first win in many years at Henley last year in the Wyfold Challenge Cup. So, club programme there that's going from strength to strength, followed now by Newcastle University's A crew. So coached by the long-standing Angelo Savarino up on the Tyne in Newcastle. We're actually joined by Rory White here, who's alumnus of that programme. What can you say about Newcastle, Rory?
Yeah, tough and good and hard. Yeah.
Very nice. Now another Brooks boat coming down. Is this Brooks E we're up to?
Yeah, Brooks E coming through, big depth from that programme. So pushing into the closing stage of the race. Looks like they've slightly pulled away from Thames Rowing Club D. But then here we're coming through actually is the Goldie crew that we talked about earlier. They've seemed like they started off 23rd and they're pushing on. Looks like they're making some good progress. So it'll be interesting to see how they get this prep for this race as they come into the boat race.
They're looking really strong. Joe Travis there in the 7 seat. I actually coached him at Hinckley Sculling School, looking really good. Oh, a bit of a wobble there, but they're still sort of pushing on that Thames boat. Really sort of moving through, trying to take it home at the end there.
Yeah, really exciting racing happening. Keep pushing on, all these crews.
Now I've got Royal Chester A crew coming past here, so they've won the Jackson Trophy for the fastest club that doesn't row on the Thames for the last couple of years. So very strong club crew from up in the north there, looking to make it a hat trick in the Jackson and looking strong as they do that.
Yeah, I mean you've got Bristol crew coming through here. It looks like they're in a tight battle with Durham. So yeah, it's looking exciting. Shout out to Tibby in the Bristol crew, who's a close friend of mine. You've got the Durham crew pushing on. Looks like a good battle between the two of them. Obviously Will Fletcher, head coach of the Durham crew now. He was telling me earlier that they've actually got a lot more sort of internationals coming, so to do postgrads from America, athletes from Princeton, Washington. So if you're interested in doing a postgrad at Durham, get in touch with Will. There's a lot of good opportunities out there.
Yeah, their depth is looking really good. I really like that boat. It's looking really clean, really sort of nice and long.
You can hear the people down on the riverbank shouting away, all of their friends and family. It's it's a great atmosphere down here.
And here we've got Molesey Boat Club and it looks like Vesta Boat Club. It looks like Vesta have overtaken Molesey in the earlier stages of the race and are trying to push on now, push home. So that'll be a nice win for Vesta Rowing Club. They'll always like to sort of push on from their London rivals. Now
and here we've got Thames Rowing Club being pushed by Imperial. Wilf, what do you have to say about Imperial crew coming here, looking relatively sharp?
Yeah, looking very tidy there. Perhaps not some of the biggest athletes, just looking at them from up here, but you're very long, very sharp, very nice rowing there. Coached by Peter Hardcastle and Tessa Miller, those guys. So hopefully looking to move up the university rankings this year. Followed by Agecroft Rowing Club, another strong club from the north. They've actually sent in a little bit of commentary information here, which I've got, saying their goal for the race is to survive. So I think they've managed that. Hopefully they'll do even more than that as they come down the course here.
And you've got the drums are beating down below us, cheering the crews on. It's a good atmosphere. Hanging on for the last few strokes here, pushing all the way to the line.
That London Sea boat's looking really strong, really sort of using that momentum from the crowd, trying to bring it home all the way to the finish. Just a few more strokes now before they bring it home. Looking very clean. There's some real great depth in that London boat club.
London D coming down right behind them. I'm just going to give a little plug now. So we have 2 photographers and a videographer out on the course today. So 4K slow-mo video clips and lovely high-res photos. You can get digital files, packages, have them printed, whatever you like. So do check those out on www.allmark.one.
And here London are getting chased down by Westminster. They really sort of need to use that rate, hold off that schoolboy crew. That Westminster boat is really pushing. Oh, we've had a bit
the straight man in that Westminster boat has gone pretty hard. He looks like he's struggling a little bit, but only a couple of 100 metres to get it across the line.
Yeah, we're seeing replicas of the Cambridge crew. Matt Edge for the Cambridge crew last year and the Westminster crew, but he looks like he's moving. He's going to keep pushing all the way to the finish, and he's obviously laid it all out there. So very impressive performance, and great to see the first schoolboy crew coming down.
This next crew, number 34, is 1877 Club, which is Durham University alumni. So they've got a pretty stacked crew here. 2 under-23 gold medalists, a junior world champion, a boat race winner from last year. However, they are self-coached and have been on the water 0 times as a crew. So we'll see if that has any effect.
Well, they look pretty good for not having a coach.
It's all about having fun, getting out here to race. You've got to enjoy every opportunity you get.
I think behind them we saw a very tidy looking Imperial B crew chased down by Newcastle B. So they've got a American under-23 world's medalist on board that crew. They say their goal is to beat their first date. So bit of internal squad rivalry going on there.
Love to see it.
Tyne Amateur Rowing Club. And then behind them we're followed by Marlowe's B boat, who we can see in the shot now. They're looking very slick. Jamie Axon will be impressed with how they're rowing. They're looking very sharp coming into that sort of last 250 metres. I think they'll be happy with their race so far, so just need to bring it home.
It looks like they've kicked on well. There's a gap opening up when you've got Thames H coming through, which is just remarkable how much depth there is rowing on the tideway, the number of people going for it, and they're looking very sharp, so it's really exciting to see.
And then chased down by them is Thames F. So we've got more Thames boats coming up.
Has that been an overtake? I think it has. A bit of internal sort of battle paddling down the course there, it must have been. But you could see all these Thames crews rowing with the same style, a great coaching team, I think, propped up by many volunteers as well there. So very, very strong club. But of course, must give a shout out to London, who's Rufu on. Another very strong club programme based here on the Putney Embankment with a great deal of depth.
Excited to see who wins that between the two of them. I think it's going to be a tight battle. Second schoolboy crew coming down, Abingdon. So obviously you've got the school's head coming up, but some of these crews have seen it as a good opportunity to prep, get used to the rowing on the course for that race. So
Abingdon apparently got a great incentive for this race. Their coaches say they'll paint the bow and stern pink if they win the junior pennant. Wow. Sorry, if they're quick. So hopefully they achieve that accolade.
Wow. Then we've got the second commercial boat from Ireland. They've got a great showing out here coming all the way over. So thank you for coming over and thank you for putting on such a great showing. Then we've got that Durham B boat. They're looking very strong. Really trying to push on away from City of Bristol B. They'll be hoping that they can sort of make up a few more seconds right at the end there.
Yeah, so City of Bristol, a club that won the Jackson in recent years, but hasn't been quite as strong over the last few years. So we'll see how their boats do today. I mean, second day up here, you're in the top 50. That's still pretty good depth for a club programme.
Now we've got the Edinburgh University B boat. They're looking very strong.
So I think they won gold in the Inter-8s at Bucks Head, looking to try and come in the top 30. Quite an international crew, I think, according to their comments. They've only got one pure Englishman and one pure Scotsman in the crew. Chased down by ULB, so seeing a lot of rivalry between these university crews at each level, kind of A, B, C, etc. So Or is that ULC?
That is ULB.
ULB, I was right. Another bit of side-by-side action here. We've got, looks like a Brooks crew overtaking a City of Bristol crew there. That Brooks crew, you're looking very, very sharp for, you know, a few boats down the rankings, actually. You know, you can see again they have that club style, and every boat, no matter which one they are, will row in that style. You're very strong, very long, very crisp around the front.
Here we've got Upper Thames Sea coming over from Henley, so just a short drive over.
Yeah, I think we've got a couple of pretty famous athletes in the stern pair there, Alex Partridge and James Cracknell. So a couple of Olympic medalists rowing in that crew, and you know, having another swing of the bat. So good to see that they're still at it.
Yeah, great to see them at it, pushing for the finish line now. Some old legendary athletes, and see how they stack up today. But I think the most important thing is being out there.
God, they really look. Cracknell really looks like he's going for it at the end there.
Yeah. He's winding them up. Yeah, he's going all out, and I think that's you know what those top athletes have done. They know how to push themselves, so they'll continue to do so today.
Yeah, a bit of a gap. I mean, we've got the next Thames crew on screen, but while we have a second, I'll just remind you that we've got photos from two angles and videos uploading live to our website, www.allmark.one. You can get digital files, 4K slow-mo video, prints, packages, whatever you like. So do go and check that out, as that allows us to provide you with this live coverage of every crew.
Yeah, they're actually amazing, the images that get produced by AllMarkOne. So I'd highly recommend checking them out and seeing what's on offer.
There goes Thames G, Hereford Club A. And then charged down by, it looks like another Durham boat. And then here comes Tideway Scullers as well on their home course, trying to put in a good showing. This is their top crew, and they'll be really trying to lay down a marker for the rest of the season. They'll normally sort of do a 4 or so for Henley, but at the moment they'll be looking to make a good mark here.
I believe this might be City of Cambridge, which is one of our AllMarkOne team members, Alex's club, I believe. So give us a few words on City of Cambridge.
Big up to City. They have a huge mix of people. A lot of people graduate from Cambridge and hung around, and also people joining from all over, and they're looking to make a big splash today.
And it looks like they've overtaken Vesta B, so they've had a great row, really pushing on towards the end there.
The first photos are uploading now, I've just been informed, so do go and check them out on allmark.one. This Vesta crew, Fletch Ostling in the crew, it's his birthday today, and he only started rowing in 2023, so happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Fletch. And yeah, photos are being uploaded, so that's remarkable, almost quicker than the race results are coming out, the photos being uploaded, so make sure you head over there, see what you look like on the race course.
Here's that Westminster B boat being charged down by is that London E, and then we've got another international crew. And now we've got Molesey Rowing Club C. There's a lot of sort of tight rowing, Tyne Amateur Rowing Club, and then University of Cork C. All bunched up together there, so real sort of tight rowing. Everyone trying to stay out of each other's puddles, so they've branched off across the river slightly just to try and get some clean water and find that clean water to row in.
But here, coming past us at London, there's about 6 crews all tightly packed, and you can really feel the atmosphere coming here. Everyone's sort of closing in, so you know that's what you want at the end of a race. You want to feel the other crews around you and seeing where you can push on, as long as you can get a clear line. But you've got Marlow C pushing here.
They've overtaken Upper Thames Rowing Club B, which looks like maybe a Masters crew, and then University of Exeter, Cambridge 99 Rowing Club, and Nottingham Rowing Club, all chased down by Newcastle C.
Okay, so we're now going to have a little changeover commentary team. So we've got Alex, one of our resident lawyers here at AllMarkOne, great member of the team. says he's not Canadian, but he is. And Sophie Hudson, physio for Thames, but rowing at UL. And I'm not allowed to say the rest, am I? But,
yeah, no
over to you
TikTok
guys.
plug.
What can you see out there on the water?
Oh, it's getting so busy out here. We've got loads of boats landing, and there's just such a good vibe on the embankment. The only other time that it's like this is at Women's Head or at the boat race, and the vibe is just so good. Like, goosebumps. It's really good here.
There we go. Yeah, it's thankfully another great day of racing. We were a bit worried about the weather. We had great weather at HORR, and luckily it's the same for HORR right now as the crews make it past straight to the finish line. And if you're watching the live stream, do let us know where you're from. If you have any shout outs that you'd like us to say on the stream, we'll try our best to say it. And thanks so much for watching.
Yeah, the conditions are perfect. I'm just looking at it. There's no winds, or hardly any, and it's a good day. Good temperature too. I think that makes all the difference when performing.
Definitely. And now I think we are about to have another Newcastle crew rowing down with their blades with the stars on it.
I think programs like Newcastle are really, really good. Like, whatever they're doing up there is really working, and I think the culture is. There's a lot of good chat about the culture going on, and it's obviously it's working because loads of the crews are performing really well, and especially when you look at what's going on in the trials. There's loads of people.
And we just had crew 74 row by, which is Collingwood College Boat Club A. And I believe that's crew 78, University of Nottingham. A, with they are a new crew, and their goals for this race is for JP not to catch a crab, Nerd not watching Shiplik or GB Kit, and Alistair not getting told off for aggressive steering. So hopefully they managed to accomplish that. We have crew 79 who just rode by us, which is University of Warwick Boat Club A. Unfortunately, Callum isn't joining me today, and he usually is able to tell the boat by their blades or their unisuit. So bear with me as I look through the draw and look up their numbers.
Gosh, that must be quite impressive. You also recognise all of them based on their all-in-ones and their blades. I feel like I could do a couple, but maybe not the depth that he could do. So it's quite a skill set to have, actually.
There we go. And we are still waiting for results, but crew 82 just rode by us now, and that is Cork Boat Club Ireland B, joining us all the way from Ireland.
I think there's a lot more international crews coming in every year, which is really, really cool to see. And I think it's also great fun just to have like a really cool race to go to that's international. Like, a lot of clubs go to Heineken or they go to Ghent. So I guess this is the equivalent for them, and I think they're really enjoying that based on the feedback that they're giving us.
And have you rowed internationally anywhere else?
Do you know what? I've not, but UL are going to Ghent later this year, and I know Thames went to Heineken and had a good show there. I think Molesey went to Heineken as well. So I think it's really cool to see, and it's just a great weekend away, I think. A little bit of work, but mostly fun. We're still waiting on the results to come in, and this is always a bit of a tense moment because we just want to get the results out. But it'll be interesting to hear other people. If you could give us your top 5, who you think is going to come in the top 5 and put them in the live stream, that would be interesting for us to see, because we've made our bets up here on the roof of London. But it'll be interesting to see what other people are saying, if anyone's got any good insider knowledge.
And crew 85 just rode by us is University of Bristol Boat Club. And there's results so far this season, and fourth in Buckshead. And their goals for this race is top 3 University and second 8 and in the top 50. And Ed Bloomfield, he coaches at Bristol.
I think we've just had the distinctive green of Kew House going past us now as well. And I think we've got Nottingham coming through.
You're indeed correct. Crew 87 is Kew House School Boat Club A. Crew 88 also rowed by us, Nottingham University Boat Club B. That is Crew 89. You're correct. That is
Look
Hinsky
at me
School Boat
go.
Club. So maybe I don't need
Gosh.
Callum after all. With,
Quite
with
impressive.
Sophie here identifying the
Getting these
boats for me.
crews.
We also have Rory White back manning the camera. So shout out to him for his panning and skills.
So I always find it's quite difficult when you're watching the racing from the bank, especially on a head race, because you never quite know the gap that the boats go off at. So it makes it really difficult later on to kind of guess if boats have closed up on others or if someone's... It's a bit easier, obviously, to know if someone's rowed through another crew, but I think it's so... that's what makes head racing really, really fun.
Definitely, and even when you are in the race, you really don't quite know your time. You might be passing by boats, or boats might pass you, but because you start off at different times, you're never quite sure of the results until you see your own results.
Yeah, exactly. And there's obviously separate segments. So the one that a lot of people quite like to go for is the first 3 minutes or so, so from the start up to Barnesbridge. And a couple, I think the Tyrion Junior Vets boat, they're going for the record there. I think they went for 4th last year, and I believe they're trying to go 3rd this year, so it'd be interesting to see the breakdown there. But obviously it's a long race, so you have got to pace it. But I think it's always fun if you can kind of go for a segment.
Indeed, and rowed by us just now is Crew 94, University of Birmingham, and 2 members of the crew, Kira and Will, both represent Wales as juniors, and John Martini is a coastal rowing world champion.
And we've also got Vesta coming past now, and they've got Cracknell as their head coach, and that seems to be doing really, really good things for the programme. And the vibe at Vesta, whenever I walk past on the embankment, it looks really good.
Indeed, that is their C crew, Vesta Rowing Club C, Crew 95.
I think we've also got Lee coming down in their orange. And they're all the way based in East London.
Crew 96 is an international crew, Bessel Rotor Club from Germany. So welcome to the Tideway, and we also have the Lee rowing by us soon with their signature orange, very eye-catching.
And then right after them, we've got Yellow, a yellow crew.
Any guesses?
No guesses, no. Go on, who is it? You've been in the suspense now.
It is Crew 97, Minerva Bath Rowing Club.
Ah, okay, I'll add that to my list.
I don't think the results are coming in now.
No, we've still got no sign on the results yet.
Your website that is not gonna. I think the issue isn't the website. So there's a lot of people like us that just keep refreshing the website. We're the problem.
Extra commentary, if you want results, stop refreshing the website so we can see the results.
Yes, and then we can report them back to you.
Exactly, it's for the greater good.
I always feel bad for the clubs that are based out at the start, because you've got to do the whole race and then you've got to row back. And I always think that is a bit of a tough one. We had to do it at Filmer's Head at UL, and it was a long row back. But if you're an embankment club in Putney, then it's great. You get a great long warm up, you get to finish a little light paddle, and then straight away.
Indeed.
Oh, we have got some results. This is very exciting.
The results are, in first place, Leander Club A with a time of 17:06.7. In second place, Oxford Brookes University Boat Club A, 17:18.8.
A whole 12-second gap between Leander A and Brooks A, and then 7 seconds.
And in third place, Thames Rowing Club A with 17:25. So congrats, Sophie.
Yeah, go Thames.
Your
Let's
physio
go.
doing magical work with the crew, it seems.
Yeah, no, it's all them. And then in fourth, we've got Leander B with a time of 17:28. And then we've got Oxford Brookes B Boats in fifth place with a time of 17 minutes 35. In sixth, we've got London Rowing Club, time of 17:37. And then we've got Cambridge, a time of 17:44.
Rory, do you have any hot takes on the results so far? Being an ex-Brooks Cox as well?
We're currently talking to the group chat. Let's have a look at them. So, I think the ones that definitely stand out, Brooks B have definitely put in a good shift there. Like, to be able to sit within 7 seconds of Leander B is a really good one. That's close to Leander's ladies plate 8 is Leander B, and Brooks B is not going to be a plate 8 from my guessing. Thames have really pulled it out of the bag on this one. Like, they could, realistically go and enter a ladies plate level event and, race the likes of, I'm guessing, the majority of the Oxford Brooks boat would be able to go and race with them. But as expected, like, Leander have got, a lot of those Caversham athletes up in their top 8. The likes of Miles Beeson and Matt Rowe and Josh Bowson-Jones, etc. So we have a lot of athletes in that top boat, so it makes sense that they are 12 seconds clear of the field. Anything else that really stands out? Like, Cambridge Goldie's boat was pretty good, and London have put in some really strong results. 12 seconds from Thames A is probably a bit of a stinger for them, but beating Goldie and only being 2 seconds off Brooks B is a really strong result from them. But we'll get back to the racing now.
Yeah, and having London B and Thames B be so close together, only separated by a second, or less than that, 0.8 of a second, that is really, really close and really, really tight.
We have Crew 105 rowing by, Curlew Rowing Club. Any guesses for the next crew?
No, the next crew is a green crew. I don't know, I would like to say Irish, but I'm not entirely sure.
Happy belated St. Patrick's Day, everybody. That is Crew 101 from the Netherlands, actually, not Irish at all.
Oh, really? Okay, nice.
Excuse my pronunciation, it is the Rovering de la Netherlands. I'm sure I butchered your lovely language. Crew 107 rowing by us, Trevelyan College Boat Club.
So just looking at the results here, as they currently stand, the fastest university crew is Cambridge. The second fastest is University of London Boat Club with a time of 17:53, after Brooks, obviously. So it goes Brooks, Cambridge, University of London. So for a lot of people looking for universities next year, it's quite a good thing to do a bit of like window shopping, I guess, at these sort of races to see how they're doing and to look at the programs. Because if you're trying to look for kind of performance, this is a great place to look at, and it's really cool to see loads of good depth in all these clubs.
Indeed, and you can always be the change you want to see as well. Join a university,
Ooh,
make that big
motivational.
comeback. And we have a few shout-outs in the chat. We have shout-out LUBC and Ethan. Shout-out Lewin Nether Liverpool. He just started rowing this season. Welcome to the Tideway. And shout-out to William Rathbone, who just rowed past, stroking a Durham Third V. Oh, thank you. We have Rory Cruikshank, our boss. 115. Crew 115 is rowing by us now. 116. Crew 115 is Liverpool University Boat Club A. 116, Oriel Kensington Rowing Club A. And followed by 120, Bath University Boat Club A. That's quite a big jump from when they started.
Shout out to Angus Pollock in the 5 seat of that Bath boat. Rory White, I know him very well. We've had many a night out. Good times. Followed by 117.
Crew 117. Crew 117 is Harriet Watt University Boat Club, making their way down from Scotland.
Good result there from Bath if they really did start in crew position 120. We're about to have 118 and 119 passes as well, so they've done a lot of overtaking.
Yeah, this is looking really tight here with loads of crews overtaking.
119 is York City Rowing Club. Freddie Orpin in 5 seat rode into Oxford Blue Boat 2024, and their goal for this race is to get into the top 100 boats in the country. So good luck to them. This is a big bunch. 122 is City of Oxford Rowing Club A. 125 is St Andrew Boat Club A.
I believe St Andrews Boat Club is being coached by the fabulous Lewis McHugh, who spent a year coaching at a school in London, and now he's back up in Edinburgh, which is such a win for that programme.
Yeah, Crew 125 St Andrew Boat Club A. And they're hoping to overtake a few crews, take time on Glasgow Uni, and also catch up to some of our friends starting a few places ahead. 127 is Neptune Rowing Club Ireland. Welcome. 124 is Collingwood College Boat Club B. And soon you see on the stream, Crew 128 is Twickenham Rowing Club A. And they have 4 rowers returning from last year's crew and the crew that made it to the first day of Henley Row Regatta in the Thames Challenge Cup and looking to push on and get to the quarterfinals this year. And they came 7th in the Club Open category in Hammersmith.
We've got a few seconds before the next crew comes up, so it'll be a good chance for you to go check out your photos on the AllMarkOne website. Cheeky plug there.
Thank you, Sophie. Do you want to plug your physiotherapy services, or are we
No,
holding
we're
off
good.
on that?
We're good. So I just work with Thames, and I take on a few clients externally, that mostly doing online physiotherapy, and I think it's great fun.
It's a very exclusive club, it seems.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. Everyone's kind of laughing at the moment.
I believe, is that another Lee crew rowing by us? With their orange blades.
130.
130. Lee Rowing Club B. Crew 132 is Southampton University Boat Club A. 129 is Hatfield College Boat Club A. And Ryan is the Concept 2 U20 lightweight 100K record holder.
Then we've got 1.
131 is Durham Amateur Rowing Club A. And Steph Lavelle, the Cox, is also an airline consultant alongside being a Cox. She had many years of experience steering the Tideway, the Henley course, and many other places, and she knows her stuff. That's what you want from your Cox.
Good, it's looking quite tight up here with 131, 135 and 134 all coming up together, almost three aside.
That is a lot of crews. 135, 134, Lancaster University Boat Club A, Monmouth Rowing Club A, and what was the other number again? 135, okay. It is also Lancaster University Boat Club A.
Good, we've got City of Oxford coming down. Sholto's giving a big
shout out.
Big shout out.
His first club, biggest shout out ever. And we have a few more comments from the chat. Watching from Wirral, rooting for Express Team 329 from Cambridge. And shout out to the University of East Anglia crew, number 139. All the girls are watching from home. Crew 139 is the University of East Anglia, so they should be coming by us right now. Crew 139 has Sam, who's just recently recovered from surgery. Welcome back to rowing. And they place in the top half in Buck's Head, and their goal for this race is to not blow up.
Big shout out to Doug Barrell, the head coach there. He used to be my head coach back in the days.
There we go. You can aspire to the heights of becoming the boss of a photography company.
Hey, you can't get any higher than that.
We've also just had Exeter go by. 140, I believe. I think it's Exeter.
You are actually not correct.
Oh.
Crew 140 is City of Bristol Rowing Club.
Oh, that's a bit awkward from me.
They are
Apologies.
they are very similar. They are very similar. I'll give you
Some
that.
of these clubs look identical.
Yeah, I'll use that excuse.
I have the excuse that I'm colorblind, so good luck
Ooh.
to the rest of you.
I'm so glad that we keep hiring photographers that are colourblind. Go on, Sophie, use this one.
And just to change the subject, we've got Crew 138 coming past now.
Crew 138 is City of Sheffield Rowing Club A.
And then 141. I quite like their all-in-ones. They look quite cool.
Crew 141 with the sharp all-in-ones is Swansea University Rowing Club A.
Yeah, no, I agree with that one. I saw them at Gloucester
Yeah.
Springhead recently.
I think we need to add a couple more kind of categories of prizes here, like the best all-in-one, the best blades, the best kind of support crew, and like the loudest cheers. I think that would add a bit more dimension to the race and make it fun.
Matching
Indeed.
crews row faster, that's for a fact. And
Yeah, I
you know,
have heard that.
bucket hats also help.
So we've got Peterborough rowing past us now, followed by Surrey University. Surrey A had a pretty solid result at Bucks, but they're really well known for their beginner squads at the moment. We'll be really excited to see how those lot get on at Bucks Regatta coming up soon.
We've got a possible overtake coming up here. We've got Crew 144 and 147.
Crew 144 is St. Catherine's College, Cambridge. So a lot of Cambridge crews should be down here today. They just wrapped up bumps last week, and a lot of them are just looking to have a good time on the river.
And you've got UCL passing by now as well, followed by Crew 148.
Crew 148 is Emmanuel School Boat Club.
It's great to continue seeing them rowing. Emmanuel is a school that's been around, a long time, and were always big competitors to me when I was rowing at school. It's great to continue to see them race not only at the junior events but also here at Eights Head as well, up against all the adults. I think it's really exciting as we see more junior events join the circuit over the next season, that some juniors can continue to race seniors, see where they line up.
Crew 149 is Dart Totnes Amateur Rowing Club A. They were the winners of the Medium Club last year, so hopefully they're looking to replicate their success. And they came 77th last year, and they're hoping to up it.
Followed by, I'm guessing, Nottingham University over there.
Yeah.
Their yellow blades.
And then Cambridge 99. What do you think of Cambridge 99, Alex?
Cambridge 99s, they're a great club, friendly bunch. I can say, even though there's a lot of on-cam rivalry, I think we all just want to see Cambridge rowing become better and better, and hopefully the crews today definitely show that.
Here we go. Now we get the University of Exeter in those bright neon tops, rowing in their Vespoli. Pretty rare shell to see here in the UK, but Exeter seems to be loving them. And
I believe
on the
they've
far
just
side-
bought a new Philippi as well at
How
Exeter.
exciting.
Rory, as a Cox, do you feel like you can feel the difference in different kinds of boats?
Yeah. I do I think it's personal preference, right,
Okay.
man. I think it's personal preference.
What's your favourite?
I was always a fan of the M-Packers and the Kings. I think both of them are very similar, but maybe I'm a little bit biased. I spent many years at Oxford Brooks, and everything in that boathouse is bright yellow and made in Germany. So that was where I was from, and now I'm hearing good things about all of our clients that go and work with Wintec and King. So big shout out to those guys. Use code AllMarkOne for 1% off.
Got Crew 157 passing by us now.
Oxford University Boat Club A.
You are
Interesting to
correct.
know which boat club, which crew this one is.
Indeed, and given that Cambridge is rowing today, I think they're definitely going to be looking to compare their times with each other, especially the boat race is less than a month away now, I think.
And then I'm guessing Manchester University
Yeah.
after them. Looking really spicy again. Great to see those clubs out on the water, followed closely by another Exeter crew, this time in some orange tops. They're going full matching kit vibes depending on the crew. I think that's pretty exciting. What do you think, Alex?
Matching crew,
T-shirts.
matching unisuits, always better, always faster. I never managed to row in a boat where all of our suits were matching. Hopefully that will be achieved one day. As we all know, it looks better in pictures, and you also definitely row a bit faster.
Yeah, we got Nottingham passing by as well. Nottingham University.
Crew 158 about to row by us is Oxford College, Pembroke College Boat Club A. And crew 156 is St. John's College, Durham Boat Club. A lot of these clubs have told us that their goal is to become the best college on the river today, whether if they're competing against Cambridge, Oxford, or Durham, or any other college. So a lot of inter-college rivalry going on, and definitely one thing to look out for today.
I think that college rivalry is always really exciting because it can change so much year on year that it really just adds some suspense, especially with things like bumps.
Indeed, and if you get bumped, you're holding that grudge for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I've heard it's
personal
quite.
experience.
Yeah, it's quite intense.
Crew 159 rowing by us now. It is St. Hild and St. Bede College Boat Club A. So I believe this is. Oh, I don't want to get in trouble. Is this an Oxford or a Durham College?
This is a Durham College. We are not
Thank
getting
you,
in trouble again. I'm not having this. I'm not having more emails.
I just know for a fact it wasn't a Cambridge College, but big shout out to them making their trek down, and hopefully they do well against the other colleges and just on the river generally. Crew 161, University College Durham Boat Club. And their goal is to win the small academic pennant. Crew 160 is Van Mildert Boat Club A. Crew 162 is University of Warwick.
They've seemed to have taken a bit of a wide line coming through the line of boats up here.
Their fun fact is that their 6th seat has a 2:01 for the rate 20, and we are going to beat the 2B club record. So good luck with that, and hopefully the big ergs will help.
Yeah. Yeah, let's go for that one. Is this?
And we've got a crew 164 coming through now.
164 Bath B, hurtling down the track. It's been really exciting to see the different types of lines that all the coxes have been taking. Sophie, are you able to maybe give some tips to any schools head coxes that might be watching now? Like as a tideway connoisseur, whereabouts would you want your cox to be putting your
question.
boat as?
I think it obviously starts at the start. That's obviously a good start. But as you're coming through Barnes Bridge, you want to be at a slight angle, and then you just want to kind of go straight as possible. Obviously, we know that the more kind of rudder and steering you apply, it's a bit of a break on the boat. So you really just want to kind of minimise that as a cox. But we've got some really, really good coxes up at UL, and it's like a game changer. I always say that if you've got a good cox and one that's really, really confident, and you can just completely trust them, then it's just a much more enjoyable experience. So obviously you go through Barnes Bridge, and then you kind of want to hug it a little bit tight as you come round.
Shout out to Newcastle as they go past us in lovely wind.
Yeah, big shout out to Newcastle.
Their goal for this race is to not crash again. So
that's a bit scary.
They're about 100 meters away from the finish, so hopefully they make it all the way there.
I'm sure they can do that. They've done it this far.
Don't tempt fate, Sophie. Don't tempt fate.
Well, once it gets busy, we'll shout out to these ones. 167 followed by 165.
Oh, they didn't submit any
We
fun facts.
got a lot of college boat clubs coming past now. Pembroke College, Cambridge, and Grey College Boat Club, and the likes of that. Which is exciting to see all these colleges come down. We say it every year. We're going to say goodbye to Sholto and Jack now. Thanks for having us. Thanks for joining us on the stream.
Any final words?
Maybe just a final shout out to your crew connection. If you're interested in going to the universities in America, maybe give them a message.
Yeah, get in touch via Instagram or for our website. It's a pleasure joining everyone today, and hope everyone had fun out there.
It's like an amazing day of racing. Reach out if you want to go to the US or need help improving your own. Thanks a lot, guys.
Awesome. Cheers, guys.
We've just had crew 175 pass us, followed by another UCL crew, in a Thames boat nonetheless, number 168.
Crew 175 was Wolfson College Oxford Boat Club A, not to be confused with Wolfson College Cambridge.
Now we've got 174 coming past.
174, Emmanuel Boat Club A. We have another bunch, and
looks like there's Rums up there at 172.
Rums tend to have the loudest cheer squad ever.
Yeah, it's neck and neck with crew 171, which is a I think they're going bow ball right now.
It's really hard not to, not go for the overtake or
Yeah.
try to push people off when you're in a head race.
Yeah, especially that adrenaline, especially as you come by and the embankment's really loud and there's loads of cheering going on and the atmosphere is great. It's just so easy. I think it's also really easy for people to see Hammersmith Bridge and just think, oh my god, we're so close, but you've still got about another 2 kilometres to go.
We've got a bit of a technical issue in the 4 seat of this boat in front of us. It's University of York. Broken blade. Oh no.
But looks like they can make it to the finish, so no DNF for them.
Yeah, I guess that's something, right?
Indeed.
The fastest 7 crew.
Now that could be another prize.
Oh yeah.
We're really stacking
Really
them up
adding
at this
it up
point.
there.
We're going to start awarding participation trophies soon, so
Yeah,
keep
that's
an
what
eye out for
performance
that.
sport's about, right? 178 coming past now.
Crew 178 is Southampton University Boat Club B. Crew 180, Bath University Boat Club C.
I think, yeah, again, it's really good seeing so much depth at these university programs. So I think if you're a school leaver, really start looking at them and obviously consider, like what the other guys have said earlier about speaking to the coaches, getting a vibe for the team, getting to understand the culture, because you're going to be there for the next couple of years, so you really want to make sure it's the right fit for you.
Yeah, and every boat club will be very happy to have you down. Maybe they'll even let you go out and hop in the bow seat or the 2 seat for a session. It was a big thing that we did at Brooks when I was there, and I think it's something that a lot of universities are very open to doing. Just go and get a vibe for the boat club. Check that that everyone is similar to you and that type of thing. It's important that when you do rowing, especially in the rain, when you're in the rain and it's cold and wet, then you just want to be surrounded by a good group of guys and girls.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I think, so I did my undergrad at King's, I did physiotherapy, and I rowed at Thames during my undergrad instead of rowing at UL, and everyone said to me, look, you need to do university rowing for at least 1 year. So I caught up with Georgie Banton and George Robinson Ranger separately, and they told me all about UL on the women's programme and how it's one club, and I was like, this is brilliant. And everyone, all the alumni spoke so highly of it, and the coaches are phenomenal, especially Smithy on the men's side, and Tom Gale and Stu on the women's side. They're really, really good.
185 coming past us now. We're joined by Rory White.
That would be Hartford College Boat Club A.
They look quite good.
Fine to see them coming down. Rory's been on the camera doing some panning so far today, but we've got him back on the mic as we move into crew number 183 and 184.
South College Durham Boat Club and Wadham College Boat Club A. Yeah, my back seized up trying to do this camera operating, so I thought John knew that.
182 coming down, and right in front of us we've got 186 first. 186.
Got 186 is the Cowes Boat Club.
Oh, wow, here we go. We're going to get.
Well, I was about to
get-
butcher that name. So I'm glad you said it.
Keys College Boat Club,
I would just like to point
Cambridge.
out I am very dyslexic.
Don't
that's on
worry,
that
I
one.
made that mistake before when I
It's
raced
okay.
them and lost to them at Met Regatta when I was in Brooks B, which was a bit
Oh,
depressing.
well, at least you let them get away with a win.
It's fine, there's a fun one coming up at 199.
See, and then we've got a crew without
Oh.
a bow number coming down now. It looks like it could be. Is there a Dark Totnes or an Avon or something, Rory White, around the 190 mark?
No, there's not.
The Sheffield Uni.
No, there is.
Oh,
189.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
getting
crew
good at this.
189.
Bloody hell.
And Trinity College, Oxford, in their lovely custom Hudson SP.
Should be a little Merson Boat Club around there. College Boat Club.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there they are, right in front
Oh,
of
you
us.
guys are on a roll.
I can just read the spreadsheet.
Yeah, it is great to see all these colleges come down. Lots of them don't even have trailers or trucks to drive the trailers, so they all pile onto one and they go and hang out at the bandstand over by Barnes Bridge and make a whole day of it, which is good because when you start racing at 9:15 and you've got an after party at 7 p.m.
Oh, Alex's old club. Who's this?
Wolfson College, Cambridge.
190.
Go on, Alex. Anything exciting about Wolfson?
Brand new boat donated last year by Tom and Allison. Big shout out to them. And they're looking strong, did quite well in bumps, and they're looking forward to mains.
Amazing. This is why. If there's anyone at Durham College that wants to come take photos and give us some fun facts, we're always open for some more members up north. We could always do with some photographers. Some great crews coming past. We've got UE, University of West England, absolutely storming down. They're always doing great at this moment. And then we've got a nice big gap between 196 and 195.
So 195 is Queen's College, Cambridge, and 196 is first and third Trinity Boat Club.
Yeah, so first and third have pulled out in front. First and third have pulled out and overtaken, which is exciting. They're doing a great time. Followed by 192.
192 is St Cuthbert's Society Boat Club.
That is okay. We might have to do some googling later. I'm not entirely sure.
Is that not from New Zealand? St Cuthbert's? Am I thinking of somewhere else?
St Catherine.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Oh, they're from Australia. I'm pretty sure Oxford stroke woman Annie Anazakis. Oh no, it was Oxford stroke woman last year. It was from St Catherine's. We watched them win Henley Royal in the junior women's eights. Back in the days. I'm trying to remember the year, but we've got a great photo of one of the girls celebrating at that race, which was great. Followed by a Brooks crew 206. They've done a lot of overtaking in that case.
Yeah,
this is really impressive.
They're looking like they're going really well, actually. I wonder why they started so far back.
Indeed, 197.
197 would be Homerton College
191.
Boat Club. And
191 is Hatfield College Boat Club.
Very exciting. So many colleges. Pretty sure Hatfield's a Durham College. Yeah, I'm getting a slight nod from Alex over there. This is exciting. We're slowly getting slightly better at this. There are a lot of colleges.
Yeah, there are so many, and I think it's also so confusing that some of the Oxford colleges have the same names as the Cambridge ones and vice versa. That's just a real trap, that one.
who's this coming
200.
down? 200. École Centrale University Rowing Club. I'm going to guess that's not English.
École is French.
School, yes.
I put an Italian accent. Sorry.
They must be having a great time. It's great to see overseas crews come to these type of events. This is one of the biggest events of its kind in Europe.
Do you think we'll ever see American university crews come over here?
We've got 202 Kingston and 201.
Is Winchester College Boat Club.
Family favourite here at AllMarkOne. We love the Winchester College. And 199.
You can see this one.
Oh, I'm not going to go near that. Not after the last one.
Akademische Rudeberger Bindegung West something.
Yeah, that sounds perfect.
I think they're Dutch.
Not German. They're Dutch.
I don't know.
198.
That's Collingwood College Boat Club. I think that's a Durham one as well.
And then we've got some really bright colours coming around the corner over there from, I believe, Henley Rowing Club. On the far left, we'll get Alex to pan around in a second to see their ridiculously bright t-shirts. 205.
Exactly, yeah, that is exactly Henley Rowing Club. It's a pretty good spot.
Yeah, those are some bright t-shirts right there. 340 something? 340 something? Quite a few. So, you know, if you are one of these crews, there's of course this live stream. You can go and check out some slow-mo race video as well and your race photos. We got
coming on
204.
to 204 would be Sons of Sons of the Thames Rowing Club A. Apologies for the profusive language.
Followed by 203, Rory.
East India Club rowing section. East India Club, obviously the very famous club in London. Great sports club if you're ever interested in joining. Know a lot of friends that are members there. So.
And we've got crew 209 coming past, which is a Bedford rowing club.
Lead by 208.
And two
Goals for Bedford Rowing Club are to be the top 100 today.
Oh,
be a good one for
Alex,
them.
we've got your club
Crew number
again,
2.
208 coming past. How was your session with City of Cambridge?
It was great. They were good fun, and shout out to them for letting us ride along in the launch to capture some amazing footage and photos. So if you're interested in letting us ride along for any more photos and videos for any upcoming races, feel free to let us know.
There he is. Eamon's pointing out that Alex and him are wearing the same clothes.
It looks like we've got another Vesta crew coming past, and this is, I believe, Vesta F. So that's great to see so much depth at Vesta Club. And we've also got crew number 212, which is Putney Town Rowing Club. It's their D crew. They look like they are really winding it up, ready to go for the finish. They're actually gaining on the crews ahead, which is really exciting to see for them. So hopefully they can move up a couple places in the finish. And we've got crew number 213, which I'm going to go for with my dyslexia here, is Lymington Amateur Rowing Club. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
I'd say the same, Lymington.
Okay, good. And we've got crew number 215, which is Quinton. So this is their home water, so they should have a really nice home advantage going on here. They should know the river really well. They should be able to practice all the time. So that's good for them.
We're on a lovely sloped roof here, and every now and again I can just see things fly past me as Wilf drops them.
And we've got crew 210 passing us now, which is Curlew Rowing Club. It's their B crew. I believe they're also based up in East London. I think they row out of the docks in the same places as the league.
Very,
Yeah, they
very
do.
noticeable colour, Curly.
You like photographing dogs, don't you?
I do. Poplar Regatta is one of my favourites. We've got 214 and 218 going past us.
214 is Oriel Kensington. This is their B crew. And 218 is Berliner Ruden Club from Germany.
And then 217 Tideway Scullers storming past.
Yeah, this is
after
their B
that.
crew as well.
Is there a Milton Keynes coming up? Is that a guess? 219? Oh, it's an Irish crew.
Ritter Club, Schaffhausen, Switzerland.
Do you know, that sounded perfect.
The Swiss boys, eh?
We've got two crews coming past the Black Boy now, going neck and neck. It looks like perhaps Westminster, and when we get that bow number, we'll be able to give you the other crew.
Is that GMS? No.
I was gonna say that. 222?
222 is Nottingham and Union Rowing Club, and then 221 is Westminster School Club.
Yeah, that's
their
an
C crew
absolute
coming
humdinger there. Nottingham
that's
and
good.
Union are having a great time catching up with them.
Yeah,
Followed
Westminster are just pulling
closely
away now.
by 220, which has been overtaken by the both of them.
And that's another international crew, number 220.
And they
from
would be having a
Germany.
great time because they're rowing in a Wintec, of course.
Indeed.
Not-
Westminster have had a great race there, though, if they've been able to get past 220 without losing too much time on themselves at the same time. But Nottingham and Union getting past potentially two boats is pretty damn impressive. Followed by 223
Which is Maidstone Invicta Rowing Club.
from down in Kent.
And then we've got 224 coming up, which is Q House School Boat Club.
We love supporting Q House School here at AllMarkOne. # Q the Rowing. We've got great coaching team there. Tom Shaw running the boys' side at the moment, and Reefers Tilt running the women's side. I'm not biased, but they were amazing housemates at the same time.
Indeed, we've
Followed
got
by
Wallingford.
Wallingford Rowing Club. Indeed. Also great to see all the clubs like Wallingford. It's a pretty small boathouse at Wallingford. Great stretch of water, but the boathouse is pretty geographically quite small. So it's great to see them bring out the big boats at head of the river. 226 after that.
Is
Sunderland.
Sunderland's City of Sunderland Rowing Club.
Oh wait, come on Sunderland.
God, we're going to get you cancelled, aren't we?
I went to Newcastle for 3 years.
Have we got Agecroft 228?
I recognise
Yeah,
it.
that would be correct.
followed by 230.
Which is Warwick Boat Club.
And 231, Nottingham Rowing Club.
Yeah, exactly. And this is their B crew, 231.
And 225.
Would be Putney Town.
Any guesses for 225, Rory?
Is it? No, the boat's really throwing me off.
Said it, didn't I?
He has said it, but the boat's really thrown me off. The maroon and white Stamfley.
No,
Looks like an old George Watson boat.
Yeah, it's a Putney Town crew,
225
right?
is Putney Town.
It is. The boat's really thrown me off there. It's a bit of a rogue one. Pangbourne College coming down next. How exciting. Awesome to see Pangbourne College. They've got a new director of rowing coming in at the start of September, so it'll be exciting to see what they're up to after that, followed by another Surrey. Oh no, is it another Surrey crew? 227.
Looks like an old boy Surrey crew or something. 227 is Warrington Rowing Club.
Warrington,
Yeah.
close enough. Very similar colours. Another bit of blue and yellow and white. Same as Surrey. Warrington, up north near Manchester. Great place to go and row. Produced some incredible athletes, Lucy Glover, Cam Nyland, those type of people, and some great coaches as well. Alistair Reeves coaches there, at Headington School now.
And some great photos available at www.allmark.one.
233 and 234.
Wait, what one did you say?
233 is King's School Canterbury, and 234 is Bidford Amateur Rowing Club.
The Bideford Reds. Saw them also at Gloucester Spring.
I would have said Bideford.
Not sure how true it is, but I've heard that there was Bideford Reds and Bideford Blues on different sides of their docks, and they were two competing rowing clubs. But I've only seen the Reds recently, so that's exciting.
Like a good old firm derby.
235, followed by 236.
So 235 is Runcorn Rowing Club.
Very good
And 236 is Newark Rowing Club, and we're getting a couple of cheers on the UL roof, the London Rowing Club rooftop.
Yes, indeed. One of the London girls is from Newark. Definitely seen some kit rowing around during some London Rowing Club sessions when we've had the pleasure of being able to go out with them. It's always really exciting to spend some time with some of the crews, as Alex said. Like, if it works for us, if you're a big club, we'd love to come and spend some time with you. Get in touch. We can come do some photos and get some cool social media stuff. But also, if you want to do some fun video projects, get in touch and we can get some quotes together, because it's always really fun to pull together big fundraising projects. 239.
So 239 is Vesta Rowing Club. It's their G crew. So yeah, again, that's a great amount of depth. And I think a lot of these embankment clubs have so much depth. It's really impressive to see.
240 and 241.
240 is Peterborough City Rowing Club, and 241 is Newark's B crew.
Good old Peterborough head. Photographed that once. Forgot to wear sun cream.
Another Newark crew coming down in a lovely King. Really exciting to see them pull out so many boats. And then another City of Bristol crew, 244 and 242.
Yeah, 244 is City of Bristol, and 242 is Furnival Sculling Club, which is also a tideway club just by Hammersmith Bridge. Right next
There's
door
a lot of
to
clubs
AK.
up there, aren't there?
Yeah, there's loads of little ones up there in that little corner.
Followed by a Vesta, another tideway club, 239
Yeah, 239 is Vesta.
and 243.
Kings?
243 is Kingston Rowing Club. This is their C crew going by.
Great to see
Looking
some depth
quite
at
close
Kingston.
to
That's exciting.
Vesta, almost on the overtake there.
We are missing some international crews. One makes me think they may have been affected by Heathrow yesterday.
There was definitely one at the Communicate that struggled to make it here. But yes, indeed, the big airport just to the west of this.
But Eamon Glavin's here, so it doesn't matter. He's the only international we need.
That's it. We're really going to get cancelled.
There's a gap and I didn't know what to say, so...
Very true. Got lovely. Another crew coming past now.
I was doing what we call a filler in the media industry.
246 in another King.
246 is Canterbridgian Rowing Club.
Now they are looking pretty fast. Alex, what's the vibes on Cantabs in Cambridge as well?
They're a great club. I rowed with them. Unfortunately, the schedule didn't work out. Shout out to Tom Hewitt in 2C. He taught me how to row. At least taught me how to row properly, or tried to.
So every time we see a video of Alex rowing, we can blame the two-seat of the Cantabs, eh? 247, I think it's Walton Rowing Club coming down.
Walton. Are they known as the Pink Pigs, or was that just a quad that they did when I was back junior? Oh, right, okay.
No, Walton, another great club. Awesome to see some depth there. It's always quite exciting to see them pull a boat together in the lead up to the main heads. There's always a lot of talk about them pulling together like a women's 8 or men's 8. So again, quite a small club. Who've we then got, Sophie, coming down next?
I think we've got 245, which is Trafford Rowing Club.
Very exciting.
I'm guessing they're from Manchester. Trafford Centre, Trafford.
Yeah. How exciting. We're into the solid last 100 now. So I'll take over from Alex in a minute, and Alex can get back on the mic. And I'll free his hand up from having to do some lovely camera panning.
It hurts the back, doesn't it, Alex? Yeah.
We've got 254 coming past now, which is Clare Boat Club. And then we've got 3. Oh, actually looks like more than 3. Looks like maybe 5.
Yeah.
5 crews really, really close together. So we have 250, which is City of Cambridge. They're leading the way, closely followed by...
Is that 248?
Yeah, 248.
Oxford Amateur Rowing Club.
And then neck and neck, we've got 253 and 249.
253 Cardiff University, and 259 would be Imperial College Boat Club.
And then we've got 251, I believe, which is Trinity Hall Boat Club, who are just chasing at the back of the pack there. They've currently got 3 crews side by side going round the finish. That's going to be super tight.
Cardiff University, who were the original starters of that chalky milk and stuff. Anyone remembers that? Do you remember that, Rory? Do you remember Row Chalky Milk or whatever? Yeah. That's what I do.
Top level commentary that you won't find in the official live stream.
Ooh.
So with this gap, it's a great opportunity to go get some photos from
And
the
videos.
one and only. Yes, photos and videos.
Yes.
The videos look really good. Can confirm my video from Women's Head looks great. All from www.AllMarkOne.
No, www.allmark.one.
That's really awkward. Try that again.
Rory blames people.
Yeah, exactly. Just click the link, buy your photos, post them and tag.
And you can go back to other events as well. How far do we go back? We'll go back to 2019. So if you missed a photo from around 2019 or now, you can go buy it. Easy days. Tell me someone else that does that. No one.
A few more shout outs from the chat. Shout out to Mike Leffler, bow seat of boat 257. Shout out to Shoreham Crew 150.
Oh, I forgot about the shout outs. Whoops.
We've got crew number 252 coming past, which is Brasenose College.
From Oxford, I believe.
Yeah, I think that is Oxford.
Next boat coming onto screen now is, I want to say 260, but I can't see. Go and get the binoculars out, Alex. Come on.
You're correct. That is Crew 260.
260. Don't know who the crew is though. Apologies.
Crew 260 is First and Third Trinity Boat Club B. Oh no. Expert commentary for Eamon talking about, even up to the last bits of the race, you gotta row together. That's the whole point of rowing.
You do, and it's like obviously if it's your first time rowing on the tideway, like you think when you're passing like Craven Cottage or something, like, oh, I'm almost done, and then you're like, I'm not really almost done. It's quite a lot.
Yeah, it's also super common for people to go way too hard and send it through Hammersmith Bridge, and then you've just got to hold on because Hammersmith Bridge is about 2 kilometres from the finish, so that's a bit early to send it.
That's what happened to my first Head of the River experience. Our Cox told us that we were a fifth of the way through the race, and I think we dropped about 20 splits when we learned about that. We thought we were almost done, but evidently we weren't.
Yeah, I personally always hold out until I can see the milepost, and then I'm like, okay, I'm almost there. And then as I'm coming past Barn Elms and the Black Boy, it's just game over. It's like you just got to go then, because it's only a matter of minutes then. No, not at all, not at all.
She's
no.
redlining the entire way. That's what she's saying.
Yeah, just go 95% until then, and then just full send at the last bit.
I think this is an international crew. I don't recognise it. I thought it was Tideway, but it's not.
It's Crew 265. It is St. Anthony's College Boat Club, actually.
Where's that?
It is either Oxford or Durham. I don't believe it's a Cambridge College. And we have 4 crews coming up.
That's probably why I don't recognise it. I want to say... Who's that? Is that Lady Ellen? No.
That is Crew 261 rowing by us, University College Durham Boat Club.
Oh.
All the colleges starting relatively similar positions, and it'll be interesting to see what kind of times they put up.
And a special shout out to the crew that's going past now with no bow number, so we can't give them a real shout out.
Missing their bow number. Unfortunately, I can't tell which crew
I
you
see
are.
what you did there. I like that.
Yeah. Bit delayed,
Crew
but that's okay.
270 rowing by us. It is Southampton University Boat Club C. Crew 271. University College London Boat Club C. We have a big bunch here. Lots of crews pushing forward to the line.
Looks like we've got another little technical failure in one of those boats over there, which isn't great, but we've got a good takeover coming on now. Coming
Indeed.
literally meters from the finish.
Free seat there, desperately holding on, trying not to finish last or, DNF.
Yeah. Helps to feather the blade sometimes as well.
A couple wise words of wisdom there.
From my vast rowing experience.
Check your gates, check your top nuts, always. Just gotta make sure they're okay.
And we've got crew 269 coming past, which is St. Cuthbert Society Boat Club.
Rain has stayed away, which is quite nice.
Yeah, perfect conditions for a race. Minimal wind, nice temperature, no rain. Ideal. We're going to see some really fast times as well.
What will be the perfect conditions to set a course record, Sophie?
I think this is pretty good, to be honest. Maybe a little faster stream.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the wind's pretty minimal, but I'm sure we're just getting the nice end of it here at
We are
Putney
blocked by
Bridge.
quite a lot, so
Exactly,
it's
yeah.
usually a bit windier in the water.
And there's like an unwritten rule on the tideway that if it's nice water up by Putney, on the other side of Hammersmith, as you go around that bend, usually it'll be a little bit ugly.
Crew 276 rowing by us, and another crew
So is
at
it-
our number.
No, there has not. It's been sunshine in London.
We've got 2 crews coming up now, which are Bowball for Bowball.
Really going for it head to head.
Yeah,
Little
number
Henley race.
277 and 281. So number 277 is St George's Hospital, and then 281 is Bath University Boat Club, and that's their D crew. So they're going neck and neck right now.
With 6
Looks like
boats
St
coming down at
George's
once.
just have the lead.
Get ready, ladies and gents. I think we start with University of Manchester, or Manchester University. Can't remember which way round it is.
Yeah, I think that is University of Manchester. And then we've got about 5 more crews all coming down in a bit of an armada. It's looking pretty tight. Got loads of different various lines going on.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh, disaster. got a crab
Well,
that's being caught because the gate's not being done up.
As long as he doesn't fall out, he can still finish this race.
Feather it. Ah! No! Oh, they're going to crash. They're going to crash.
Oh,
they're going to crash.
Blaze clashing.
Oh.
Oh no.
They've just ruined the chance.
Which
of
club
winning
is this?
So just for the heads up for School's Head coming up on Tuesday, make sure you all do up your gates.
Crew 278. It's Southampton University Boat Club D. They've nicely recovered now and will finish this race, it seems, barring any more unfortunate circumstances.
At least you can't ground your boat like you can do in the time. That's happened. Wilf having to do work and he walks away. So-called monitoring the live stream. I think this is X2 coming up next. Another crew in matching tops. Mint green.
Last 20 minutes. We have been told that the last crew has rowed by one of our photographers, and all of our photos and videos will be flying up on www.allmark.one. I did not get that wrong this time.
Did they just set everyone off at the same time when it gets towards the end of the race? They all come down in clumps. There are more boats coming, we swear.
We are wrapping up our day now, but it's good to see all the boats still coming down, and it doesn't seem like there has been any accidents or unfortunate situations so far, except several blades popping out, but nicely recovered. A couple broken ones as well. You want to hop on Eamon is going to join us, and he is a resident expert on UK and US rowing.
Here we go.
Oh yeah, I
Eight
could,
crews
I could
coming
name
down at
everybody
once.
from site.
So Eamon, how does this compare to the stage so far? How are the vibes, or how's the racing?
This is the most eights I've seen on the water at once with varying skill levels. So on
Yeah,
the
they don't do it bigger and better in the US,
no,
do they?
No, definitely not. No, we are a little bit more organized at certain races, but even this is like the vibes are immaculate. Everyone's out here having a great time, going as fast as they can. It's a long course that goes quickly because of the tide, which is fun. So you're seeing probably lower splits than you ever would have had before for a longer time, which is when I raced this back in 2019, I was like, oh my gosh, we're going 125s through Hammersmith. What is going on? We're the best. And then it turns out like the top crews are going sub 120s the whole time. You're like, oh, okay, I understand now. But towards the back end of the racing, you've definitely got larger variance in skill and experience. So you've got sometimes crews collapsing upon each other quite quickly coming in front of us at London Rowing Club.
Indeed. Rowing by us now is crew 296, and I believe St. Andrew's Boat Club D. Almost confused them for someone else, but thank you, Sophie.
So using the lens Rory's got on, if he were to look all the way down the river right now, everybody would look like they're right next to each other, right on top of each other. But then as they come in front of us, they'll be separated by 5-10 seconds. I think one of my favorite shots of this location we're at is just seeing people peek around with Fulham? Oh, I got that one right. Just peeking around Fulham, and then all of a sudden you've got 15 followed up right behind them. Nice orderly line. And as we were coming into the high 200s, towards the end of racing, I believe our first level of photographers, like at the bridge, and the videographers are actually wrapping up. Are they done?
Indeed.
So all boats are on the course racing, which is quite exciting because it's been a long early morning for some of these crews.
And you guys finish off the day in the pub. Great.
Yeah. And oh yeah, some 7 p.m. parties so you could go home, get a nap, or go sleep in the park.
I went to the
Some
London
people,
after.
I don't know where they're
afterwards.
staying, but
Little Kaylee at London. It was quite fun.
London's team's got ABBA.
It's
Live
ABBA.
band.
It's ABBA.
Wow.
They've managed to get ABBA into London to
Crazy.
confirm reunion for one night only. And I believe coming
Yeah,
by
here's
us
some of
now
these
is a
crews
boat
coming by.
with another malfunction.
The next crew coming by is they don't have a bow boat.
Their bow seat has stopped rowing.
No bow number and no bow seat rowing.
Yeah. The Cox
So
seat
that's,
is still somehow maintaining a very straight line.
Cambridge 99 in the blue.
There we go. Seems like we're seeing a lot more blade accidents than we saw at Women's Head of the River. So
New York coming by. 3:07 it looks like.
You're good at this, Evan. Have you got an Excel spreadsheet in front of you?
I actually do not. I've got a little birdie in my ear.
he's just that guy. He just knows all of it.
University College Oxford coming through. They've got all their blades intact. Nice 7.6 bucket up front. I've seen many of those random. Usually it's because some of the crews either want to have a very specific person to stroke, and then everybody behind has the riggers in different spots only because they'll fit in certain spots. I know that when I raced, we had, with Commercial Rowing Club, we had 2 8s that were identical, but the top 8 wanted a specific person stroking, and it required everybody else to switch sides and therefore spots in the boat. It was quite interesting.
And the boys of the Scottish Argonauts are coming through as well. Collection of Scottish athletes from different clubs, because it can be tough in Scotland to get 8 guys together. They've got a crowd, oh no. But it's great to see them coming down. The crew tend to see these guys go on to row at HIR as well. Is it?
Royal Kensington come by us as well.
They can have HIR at Darnay, but they can't have Nat Schools. Wow. Great.
Yeah, Bristol! Yeah, Bristol! Yeah, the club!
We've got City of Bristol neck and neck with Agecroft coming directly in front of us. Looks like City of Bristol's coming through, looking a little bit more clean, sharp. I hope everyone's had a fantastic day, though. I know I've loved racing this event, even though it's some very long hours up at the start waiting for the start. But then once it gets going, it is fast and furious.
Should we find an 8 to row together in next year?
100%.
Okay, sweet.
I've been trying to convince Rory to Coxing AllMark4, but it hasn't happened yet.
Ooh.
The AllMark4 coming to a race near you soon.
You've got to somehow.
The London Otters
crew
coming
average
right
of
through.
Like 5'9". You'll have an average crew height of about 6 foot, then me at 6'10". It just doesn't quite work. I'll cox you, roll. There we go.
Signet Rowing Club, based in Barnes, coming past us at the moment.
It's quite a good name for a boat club.
Yeah.
Big up to Lee in their signature orange, coming all the way from Hackney again. A great club with some strong results, trying to replicate it.
Globe and Lee is a Hackney massive. Come on.
Indeed. Globe and Lee, sometimes training out of the Regatta Center by City Airport.
Globe, followed closely by Norwich.
Sun's popping out. I might get a little tap up here.
.324, Mercy Rowing Club.
The last number we're looking for today is crew 344, and it's Derby Rowing Club C.
I believe this is crew 321 or 323. I can't really see.
Crew 321. It is.
That's definitely 323 and 330.
323 is Maidstone Invicta Rowing Club B.
We got any shout-outs that we've missed?
I don't
Get
believe
your photos
we
at
have.
AllMark.one.
Get your merchandise as well. Bucket hat's perfect for the summer weather. It does. I'll give you a free photo if you wear an AllMarkOne bucket hat at Skills Head next week.
There you go. A few more shout-outs. Yeah, Johns. Yeah, Gray. Go Maidstone. And please show us boat 230 Warwick. I believe they might have rowed by us already. Yes. I believe we did manage to capture most of the crews today.
I've captured every crew when I was on the camera. So
There we
it's
go.
down to you too, if you've missed
So
it.
if I missed it, apologies.
Oh, Rory. He's on his tiptoes trying to see the screen of the camera.
It looks like we have another accident on the boat. His 2-seat is stopped rowing again in the boat that's going to come by us
But
on
on the
our
screen
live
right
stream
now
now.
is Exeter.
Has he lost
Looking pretty strong.
They've lost bow pair, it seems like. I wonder what happened.
They're literally waiting for the call of bow pair add in.
They've lost their blade.
Looks like we've got some. I think the only issue I've seen is non-concept 2 blades.
Oh, he doesn't have a
oh
he
yeah,
broke his blade.
2-seat's been given some waves.
Oh, he doesn't have a blade. He's
Love
got-
to hear it.
How's he
Yeah,
lost
he
the
is
blade completely?
Is he just completely missing his blade, or is he? How did she get
They
that?
managed to pick up the blade, at least.
It's like tightrope. She's balancing the boat from afar.
Some big watts from 2-seat. The blade just couldn't contain it anymore.
Clearly didn't agree with the Cox's cut and tried to throw his blade out.
He threw the blade at the Cox.
Rory, how would you feel if you lost your blade during a race, or if one of your rowers lost a blade? Either one of the rowers here.
I think it's really hard to stay positive and get back to it. But I think those are the events that, when you look back on rowing in like 20 years, you go to the pub and you talk about with your mates. And I think that's really important. I think some people take rowing very seriously, but it's important to kind of see the fun in it as well. Because otherwise, you're out in the rain and the cold and the wind, and if you're not finding it fun, it's a difficult sport to stick at.
Indeed, remember to have fun and create some memories. Have a great time from Rory. Just remember the memories with some lovely photos. And we have the last few crews coming by us now, I think. I think that's another City of Cambridge crew. I think they've sent 5 crews down today. So it's a big showing from a Cambridge club.
Breaking news, Henry Cavill looks like he might become the next James Bond.
More boats rowing by us now.
Looks like we've had our final cruise starting to round Fulham. So we're coming into our final maybe 15 crews, maybe 10. Math. My heart goes out to all these crews that have been sitting up at the top for ages, finally getting to race, and some of them are going to have to row all the way back up.
At
That
least
would
it's
be
not.
tough.
At least it's not cold.
At least it's not as cold as it has been. In the
We have a
past.
head race in Scotland called Inverness Head, and they decide to run it in November and February, and you have to sit up at the top for like an hour in like -5 degrees.
It's character building weather.
Yeah, there you go.
Makes for stronger rowers.
That's why the Scots are known for their toughness.
Yeah, that's it.
Is that a silver boat? Is that a king boat, I believe?
No.
No.
Don't
it
believe
isn't.
so.
Not many of those going around.
No. I've seen a couple king boats go by. A couple Wintex, like we've had, looks like one right up here. It's bow wings coming under us, 300. But
What are your thoughts on wing riggers, Eamon? Free speed or just unnecessary?
I think they are fantastic. I love the feeling of a wing rigger, and it goes directly into the leverage of the boat and not into the side of the boat.
There we go.
Gives it a good rigidity as well, and as long as the hull is stiff enough to maintain, I find it easier to set up just because I'm not worried about the rigger on the side.
Couple more boats coming down now.
We've got one neon boat in the far distance, looks like the last boat of the regatta today.
Another City of Cambridge crew.
Yeah, Bristol!
We can hear big shouts for Bristol.
Yeah, Bristol! Yeah, Bristol! Yeah, Bristol!
That seems covers it.
Sorry, man, I just blocking your
just
view now.
a lot of rowers showing a
see,
grit,
sorry.
pushing all the way to the line, no matter what level they're rowing at.
See, I do love this. You've got Olympic level rowers, people training to make the national team. You've got club level rowers, all the way down to
The social rower,
the
which
social
is
rower.
The beer boats tend to
social
have the
rowing
most
is actually
fun.
The
quite hard to.
gentlemen's.
It's quite hard to balance. Actually, it's quite a skill.
It's a skill to be able to be a social rower,
Yeah,
because hopping in some boats just
I commend anyone that's able to enjoy a drinking lifestyle and still row.
hopping in random boats and just dealing with the cards you're dealt with. Some better than others, depending on the year.
I think we're coming down to our last two boats now.
Yeah.
This would be 3, 4, or something.
6, maybe.
Oh. 340 then, we'll call it. Putney Town Rowing Club coming through. And last but not least, in matchy neon green, you would think it's Brooks, but it's not. It is 344. Some would say Derby. I call it Derby Rowing Club. Well, I'm Scottish and dyslexic, so one up. And yeah, all the launches are now coming down. Do I get all the launches coming down? Yeah.
There we go. We're wrapping up now.
Wrapping up and the sun's coming up.
Perfect time to go to a party. Grab a pint.
I gotta go
Rory
get some
Cruikshank
brunch,
will
man.
be out in London later if anyone's interested.
Come say hi. Come celebrity spot Eamon around the back.
Having one Bud Light and done for the
Buy
day.
him a pint.
Buy yourself a pint. I don't
we
need
go.
any more drinks.
All the umpires coming down the river, finishing for the day. All
I
morning
love
for
seeing
them.
the crews that go by with the issues and actually getting a little better of a look. So we've got one of the crews that is missing a bow marker, and a bowman's blade has snapped. That's
Oh, it
probably
has?
the third or fourth crew I've seen with snapped blades.
Just too many watts in the water.
Yeah, I wouldn't enjoy a long row back up towards UL now.
I almost
So-
feel like carrying the boats would be better. Just hop out, Yeah. You could always wait for the tide to switch, Just let it carry you back. Take your boat out, enjoy a pint, put the boat back in, and just cruise back home.
Yeah, one of the only times I've raced this, I raced with Quinton Boat Club as in the scratch crew put together by a friend of mine, and we, we're right smack middle of the pack, and then that long hour row back, just everyone's dead and slowly trying to get back upriver, crossing over during racing. It was quite the interesting time because you're on the water for 45 minutes before. 15
Everyone's tired, everyone's fatigued.
25-minute race, depending on the year. Well, I guess 16:26 is the course record set last year, and a long row back up against the tide. Definitely, probably could wait for the tide to switch by the time we get back.
That would definitely be my strategy.
Are we rolling on camera 1 though?
Oh, hey, we're on camera now.
Hey-o.
Yeah, so that's us done for the racing all day. Head the river's over.
Make sure you go get your photos at. Make sure you
getting
go get your photos at
to
AllMarkOne. These lads have been putting in some work, getting out to
Yeah.
different crews leading up to the races, as
So
well
we've had
as
one on the embankment, one on the side, one on the bridge. Videos as well. The same as every single head race that we do. Will be the same at Schools Head as well.
Indeed.
The all access packages will be available on the website as well. Links will be on Instagram. Emails as well have been sent about where to find everything. And yeah,
Get
thanks
those
for coming
photos.
along, Eamon. Thanks for Alex. Thanks for
Happy to be
working on
here.
camera.
Yeah. Wilf as well. Sophie
Yeah.
joining us as
setting
well.
up the live stream.
We also have Kit, Callum, and Rich Man also doing photography and video.
Yeah.
Really now showing the behind the scenes of
Oh,
what
yeah.
goes on.
Look at it's this. The
This is-
entire setup's been run